Completely different. Wow. Okay, I did not know that. There is no way. Sorry, what? That really is blowing my mind right now. That's awesome. What is up? Welcome back. Today we're watching a video titled Scandinavia Explained. I think I know what Scandinavia is, but in this video, I want to learn more. What's up? If you haven't met me yet, my name is Aaron, and this is Aaron Arnold Reacts. Through this channel, I am discovering everything about Europe. People, culture, sports, food, history, anything you can imagine. I'm learning about it here. So if you want to have fun with me, if you want to learn with me, and if you want to laugh with me, make sure to hit like and subscribe. I post videos every single day, so you're going to keep seeing more videos just like this, so you might as well like and subscribe now. Let's learn about Scandinavia.
Scandinavia, the icy region where they export more vodka than anywhere else in the world, drink more milk than anywhere else. Rotten, rancid fish is considered a delicacy. We're feeling
this video is already crazy.
Cold isn't a thing, where 7-foot Vikings used to patrol the land. Today, I'm going to be doing a tier list, not only of the 3 Scandinavian countries, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. I'm officially extending this video into a Nordic tier list. That means we're including Finland and Iceland in the ranking as well. But first off, we got Sweden. Now, I know I sound like your typical British guy, but I promise I am like the most Swedish dude on this godforsaken island. I religiously practice fika. I drink milk literally
Fika.
by the gallon. I listen to Blade every day. I will constantly be
What is Blade? I don't know what that is.
annoyed about the weather, apart from that one day of the year when it's lagom. My family celebrates Christmas on the 24th of December. They also own a Dala hest.
Small wooden horse so you can put in your window and stuff like that.
My name is fucking Leopold. I am genuinely so Swedish that I am a direct descendant of Alfred Nobel, the dude
No way. All right, that's legendary. Nobel Peace
who
Prize.
invented dynamite and invented the Nobel Prize. So if it seems like I'm a bit biased with this first tier list ranking, I am. We've got the highest population in Scandinavia, we've got the biggest city in Scandinavia, we've got all the good Scandinavian music, we've got
Wow, that's an insane list. ABBA, in my opinion, has to be the best out of that list, but all these are from Sweden. I've done some Swedish reaction music videos, so I've heard a lot of these people. Okay, so Blade's a musician. Okay.
we've got the best food in Scandinavia with a geographic.
Oh my gosh, hold on. He's going so fast, I gotta keep stopping. That all looks delicious. What's the best? I've heard the meatballs are insane, but this other stuff looks good too. That potato and eggs, that's right up my alley. And the pie, oh my gosh.
Heart of Scandinavia. We've got the most islands in the world. We literally invented Minecraft, IKEA, Bluetooth, Spotify, fucking Volvo. And then, politically, look, I know we might have not been able to form a functional government for a few years, but hey, you seen all the rare earth minerals they found up in Kiruna? I mean, it will definitely be interesting to see if a massive injection of money into the economy will sort out Sweden's political train wreck, or just compress that train wreck into a raging ball of hellfire in the form of endless pointless debates, coalitions, and stupidly extremist brainwashing. Talking about stupid extremists, next up we got Norway. They're like the sugar daddies of Scandinavia.
Sugar daddies. There'll be a tier list revealed at the end.
They're kind of annoying, but they also have every natural resource you could ever need on lock. And whilst they do keep this wealth to themselves a little bit, this country is very, very, very important, not just for Scandinavia, but for all of Europe. I mean, after Brexit, the UK would literally have collapsed if we didn't leech off all of Norway's natural resources.
Come to Birmingham! Come to fucking Birmingham!
And regarding nature, I can't lie, Norway is absolutely stunning. Plus, they actually have this thing called warm air. Due to the Gulf Stream, Norwegians have much less painful winters than the rest of us Scandinavians.
Okay, that's interesting. That's actually a good thing to know because I had no idea.
Be nice, bro. You do get 2 other types of Norwegians though, aside from the normal
lunch break. Hold on, lunch break in Stockholm. That's crazy.
Aside from the normal ballers, these people are usually driven a bit insane by the country's desolate vastness, and this insanity can go one of 2 ways. Case study number 1, the glad skit. That's a Swedish term that essentially refers to someone that's very happy, carefree, and jolly, but also a bit simple in the head. Let's just say they're not thinking too deeply about anything. Perfect example is Apito, just walking around half naked, drinking vodka, swimming around in icy water.
That guy looks insane.
Driving shit boxes, not having one capitalist motivation in his body, and being completely content with a life defined by Scandinavian goofiness. And then you have the second type of deranged Norwegian, the evil Satanist. These guys are absolutely the opposite of glad wheats. They're actually driven to insanity from thinking too deeply about shit. And these
too deeply. Yeah,
guys
okay.
turn fucking ballistic, okay? I'm talking death metal, I'm talking burning down multiple churches, I'm talking convicted murderers, the most radical beliefs you could ever imagine. You really, really want to avoid this type of Norwegian. And everyone from Norway knows of
the image in the bottom right. That's crazy.
Dodgy guy lurking around their town who's a bit questionable in this way. And you just got to steer clear. Do not interact with these guys. They are almost definitely armed and dangerous. Talking about weird people, next up we got Denmark. The little splooge splatter of Scandinavia, the most mocked people in the Nordic region. Now there are
really
some main reasons why Denmark gets on so much by all of the other Nordic countries. First off, they sound kind of annoying, okay? Scandinavia is Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, right? We're all meant to speak very similar languages, and we would if Danes didn't just choose to say words in the most stupid, annoying way possible, just to be like edgy and cool.
Wait, are the languages actually that similar? Can Norwegians and Swedes and Finnish people understand each other like pretty easily? Because I thought they had 3 different languages. Maybe they're very similar though.
Cool and different. And you might be thinking, well, what about Finns? Why don't you guys make fun of them for having a completely different language? Their language sounds cool as fuck. The term I love you in Scandinavian languages is always along the lines of jag älskar dig. In Finnish, it's minä rakastan sinua. That shit is scary, bruh. Also, they did walk all the way from Siberia, so it's a lot more valid. Danes like to think that they're very clever and intellectual, and therefore they think they speak English the best out of all of the Nordics, when in reality, their accents sound like Germans with peanut butter stuck to the roof of their mouths.
That's crazy.
The Dutch team is surely favorites in our group, and they're one of the best teams in the tournament, whatever.
Get ready for my best Danish.
Oh boy. My name is Sammy. I wrote the fan mail to you a while ago.
That's just mean. That's just mean.
I mean, there's a reason why there's like 1 million English-speaking Swedish singers, and there's literally not one English-speaking Danish singer I could name off the top of my head. Another factor that makes the rest of the Nordics frown down upon Denmark a bit is that all these countries have a deep respect for nature. 97% of Sweden is uninhabited, even more
97%. My gosh.
with Norway and Finland. And the sprawling endless forest, mountains, land, biodiversity, animals is all very important to a lot of Nordic people. However, Denmark is a
Completely different. Wow. Okay, I did not know that.
complete exception. Because it's so small, more densely populated, these values kind of aren't cherished in the same way. And I know this obviously doesn't represent all of Denmark's citizens' actions, but it doesn't stop that a lot of Scandinavians are a bit disgusted and offended when they see stuff like this on the news. Also, Denmark low-key have a kind of weird empire thing still going on, but I'm not going to get too political.
That's terrible. Empire thing. How they're controlling Denmark. That's actually interesting because that's current news. Of course, that's current news.
Cool with all that. But all of that being said, I'm not gonna lie, they did invent Lego. So they made my childhood pretty much.
That's true.
I would not be the same man I am today if I didn't have Lego as a kid, alright? And
Lego kids. That's crazy comparison.
also, a lot of Danish cities do look pretty cool, and their islands are cool, and I really would love to go to Copenhagen, and Danish pastries are literally god tier.
Oh, that looks insane. What's that called? My friends from Denmark, what is this right here? Because that looks incredibly delicious.
Level scran, and a crispy ice cold Carlsberg might be one of the best things known to man you could be handed on a warm summer's day. And okay, I really don't have any bias against Denmark. It's just some friendly banter, some funny jokes. Good thing Danish people don't understand comedy in the slightest. Right, those are all the Scandinavian countries done. I'm gonna move on to the Nordic countries now, starting with Iceland. Probably the most insane and unique looking Nordic country. Is absolutely stunning. That does come with some downsides though, namely the entire country is like one big tourist trap. Their population is only 372,000, but
What? I did not know it was that small of a country.
They get 1.7 million tourists every year, meaning you can almost guarantee at all times there are more tourists than Icelandic people in Iceland. And
that's actually scary.
Stats right now, I do feel pretty bad for you guys. Honestly though, you can probably avoid the big crowds by just not going to the fucking Blue Lagoon. I don't know if any of the tourists know this, but it's literally power plant wastewater.
No way. What?
Anyway, the other things I know about Iceland is that the prices are absolutely fucking
Fifth most expensive, wow, country in the world.
ridiculous. They casually eat the most abysmal culinary monstrosities I've ever laid my eyes
There is no way. People from Iceland eat that. Are we seeing the same thing right now?
upon, take into account I live in Britain. Everything smells like eggy farts because of all the sulfur in the air from the volcanoes, which, from my understanding, like literally any day now, are about to cataclysmically explode and instantly pulverize any existence of Icelandic people ever existing. I mean, I really genuinely hope that the one dude from Iceland watching this video is okay and is gonna live to see the year 2024. Next up, Finland. Finnish people are unhinged as f***. They're always drunk doing some weird shit with farming equipment. They're probably the most extroverted Nordic people, commonly thought of
Whoa, most extroverted. Okay, that's interesting.
as the redneck neighbors.
Redneck.
Somehow though, it's still the most expensive country I've ever visited. Alright, that's all the Nordic countries done. Now we got some honorable mentions. These are all of the Nordic territories. They all have some level of autonomy, but
Okay, I don't know anything about these.
usually less than 50,000 inhabitants. First off, the Åland Islands. Technically part of Finland, but they're self-governing, demilitarized, and they speak Swedish. I know there's a
Sorry, what?
bunch of Swedish people that go on holiday there. It's meant to have pretty stunning nature. One important thing to mention is that these lucky motherfuckers pay like no tax. Next, we got Norway's territories. For example, Jan Mayen. Why the fuck do they need this? Oh, I see. Also Svalbard, home to 2,500 people that by law need to carry rifles with them.
I mean, that's literally the North Pole, basically. That just looks...
When they go outside, due to there being more polar bears than humans there. They do have a very awesome Soviet coal mining ghost town though, which I would really love to visit. And also apparently they have a completely open visa policy. Literally
wow, okay.
anyone from anywhere could move to Svalbard apparently, and you might think that attracts a lot of people with weak passports, but if you check which countries have the weak ass passports, I don't think they're exactly built for minus 20 degrees Celsius. Alright, next up we got Denmark's territories, starting with the Faroe Islands, which from my understanding is just based Iceland. Hardly any tourists in comparison, but it has an equally, if not even more amazing natural landscape. They actually have their own language, and apart from having grassy roofs, the Faroese mainly seem to be very proud of their
The Faroe Islands sounds insane. Have you ever been? Because that really is blowing my mind right now.
Weird flex, but hey, whatever makes you guys happy, man. And then finally, we got Greenland, the place that definitely isn't green and was only named Greenland because some Vikings were lonely. My boy, I'm telling you, this is the greenest place I've ever been. Come join me. We're gonna grow hella crops, man. It's gonna be... Fuck's sake, Ragnar.
That's an awesome explanation.
Realistically though, Greenland is not Nordic. They have a completely separate culture. They're in a completely different continent. And maybe I'll get some patriotic Danes unsubscribing. But hey, that might actually be a good thing. I mean, it's a joke, guys. I swear it's a joke. I know you can't understand, but it's a joke, I swear. And I am just gonna give a quick mention to Estonia. Because when I went to Tallinn, it was like 1,000,000 times more Nordic than Helsinki. I can't lie. They speak a Nordic language. They eat Nordic food. They look Nordic as hell. It will hopefully soon share a metro area.
Hold on, what's that, guys? Haircut, I gotta see that. That's awesome.
Soon share a metro area with Finland.
Really?
I think if you drop someone in Helsinki
Estonia.
and Tallinn and ask them to guess which one was under the Soviet Union and which one was Nordic, I think they'd get them mixed up. Just saying. So there we have it, guys. The completed tier list. Feel free to argue about it as much as you want in the comments.
Wow, that was insane. Okay, I learned a lot. The islands, Åland Islands, the Faroe Islands, Svalbard. Those are crazy. Estonia, he dropped in there. That was cool to see. I have so many questions after watching that. Are these stereotypes he just talked about so true? The languages, are they similar at all? I also feel like they would have similar cuisines, but the way everything's being described, there's huge differences. Maybe you just have to live in Scandinavia to understand this. Yeah, insane video. I'm going to learn more about this in the future. So if you want to see more videos just like this one, if you want to keep exploring Europe, Scandinavia, and other countries with me, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers.